ओम श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः। हरि ओम। सदाशिवसमारंभां शंकराचार्य मध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्य पर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादं शङ्करं लोकशङ्करं। शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः। ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिने व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। गुकारस्वन्धकारो वैरुकारस्तन्निवर्तकः अन्धकारनिरोधित्वात् गुरुरित्यभिधीयते। ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यङ्करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्तिः शान्तिः शान्तिः। ॐ भद्रं कर्णेभिः शृणुयाम देवाः भद्रं पश्येमाक्षभिर्यजत्राः स्थिरैरङ्गैः स्तुष्टुवागुंसस्तनूभिः विषेम देवहितं यदायुः। स्वस्ति न इन्द्रो वृद्धश्रवाः स्वस्ति नः पूषा विश्ववेदाः स्वस्ति नस्तार्क्ष्यो अरिष्टनेमिः स्वस्ति नो बृहस्पतिर्दधातु। ॐ शान्तिः शान्तिः शान्तिः। ॐ नमो ब्रह्मविद्यासम्प्रदायकर्तृभ्यः। नमो नमः श्री गौडपाद श्री शंकर भगवत्पाद सुरेश्वराचार्येभ्यः। नमो गुरुभ्यः प्रज्ञानां सुप्रतानैः स्थिरचर निकर व्यापिभिर्व्याप्य लोकान् भुक्त्वा भोगान् स्तविष्ठान् पुनरपि दिशनोद्भासितान् कामजन्यान् पीत्वा सर्वान् विशेषान् स्वपिति मधुरभुं मायया भोजयन्नः मायासङ्ख्यातुरीयं परम् अमृतमजं ब्रह्म यत्तन्नतोऽस्मि। निस्तुतिर्निर्नमस्कारः निस्वधाकार एव च चलाचलनिकेतश्च यतिर्यादृच्छिको भवेत्। तत्त्वमाध्यात्मिकं दृष्ट्वा तत्त्वं दृष्ट्वा तु बाह्यतः तत्त्वीभूतस्तदा रामः तत्त्वादप्रच्युतो भवेत्। The state of an yati, which in the Rudi sense means a Paramahamsa Parivrajya Sannyasi. How should an yati conduct oneself, or how will a jnani conduct himself, is what is being spoken in conclusion of this Vaitatya Prakaranam. Because this chapter focused on the Vaitatyam, the Vitata of Dvaitam. There is no Dvaita Jagat in true sense, in reality. So how do you conclude this section? When everything is Vitata, then how you behave in the Vaitatya Jagat? In Dvaita Jagat, where there is no reality, how should one conduct oneself when you are a Viveki? That is how you should end the chapter, right? That's why Gaudapada Karika is summarizing and completing this prakarana by giving a lakshana of a sannyasi or a viveki, someone who is a jnani, even an apatata jnanam, somebody who has got the viveka. How should one conduct? Therefore he said nistutihi nirnamaskaraha niswadhakaraha chalachala niketaha cha yatihi yadrichiko bhavet. So till there we saw. We just started this one. Tattvam adhyatmikam drishtva tattvam drishtva dubāhyatah tatvibhūtastadhārāmaha tattvad apracyuto bhavet. So how should the mind be? So far he spoke about how should one conduct nirnamaskarha nistuti, that is in terms of the external action. But in terms of one's mind, how should one keep one's mind? That is what is covered in this final verse. Bāhyam prithvivyādi tattvam adhyatmikam cha dehādi lakshanam, which is what? Adhyatmikam. Bāhyam is prithvivyādi tattvam, adhyatmikam cha dehādi lakshanam tattvam. What is external? Bāhyam. External is with reference to this body. With reference to my awareness, there is no difference between the external and internal here, because I am the witness, or I am aware of this body, and at the same time I am aware of the external world. This we spoke in the first chapter also. Vishwam, in the context of Vyashti and Samashti, the Vyashti and Samashti are seen at the same time. With reference to this external world is this body, and with reference to this my body, there is this external world. Both are perceived at the same time. You don't separately perceive the floor, separately perceive things around you, separately perceive the sky above you, and separately perceive the body of yours. No, they are all seen at the same time in your awareness. Only thing is, this body is aware, you are aware as I. Everything else you are aware as non-I. But this awareness which perceives the I as well as non-I is common between both. Therefore, there is nothing which is Bāhyam and Adhyatmikam with reference to you being aware of them. However, with reference to this body, my body, Dehadi Sangatam, from this Upadi perspective, there is an external. This towel is outside my. This Angavastra is not me. That is Bāhyam. And he says Prithivyādi, the Panchabhuta, Prithivi, Aptejo, Vayu, Akasha, is what is the Jagat. We have seen this many times. All that is perceived can be modeled into these five. So either they are solids or liquids, or they are gases, or they are heat, or it is spatially accommodated. Within that, everything can come. It can be a different type of solid, different type of, and then your emotion and all that, that's a different thing. But what is tangible world is what we are talking about. So it starts with Prithvi. Therefore, if you start from the other end, it starts from Akasha. But from this end, with all the five Sabdasparsha, Rupa, Rasa, Gandha being there, Prithvi is the one which is the grossest. Therefore, Prithivyādi Bāhyam, the outside stuff which is Prithivyādi, Prithvi, etc., the Panchabhuta and the world that you experience as outside this body, Tattvam, Adhyatmikam, Dehādi Lakshanam Tattvam. And what is this me centered on myself? Tattvam. It starts from this physical body, then Prana, Panchapranani, right? Then Manas, then Vijnanam, then Anandam, my emotions and happiness and all that. So this Panchakosha is spoken about in Taittiriya Upanishad, right? Same thing. So that can be called as Adhyatmikam, centered on me. Adhyatmikam means centered on the where I place my me, Ahankara. I identify certain things as me and certain other things as not me. So what is me is Adhyatmikam, Dehadilakshanam, Rajju Sarpadivat, Swapnamayadivacha Asat. So all these are Asat. Like what? Rajju Sarpadivat, Swapnamayadivat. These two things have been used in this prakarana. Therefore, Bhashyakara uses Rajju Sarpa and Swapnamaya. Okay. We have seen this throughout this prakarana. So we'll move. Vacharambanam Vikaro Namadheyam Ityadi Shrutehe. He quotes Shruti Vakya as a conclusion because it was through Tarka only it was spoken in this chapter. Now Vacharambanam Vikaro Namadheyam Ityadi Shrutehe. There is Shruti Vakya Pramanam also is bringing in. These are all Vakalambanam. There is no reality in it. So because of the Shruti, Pramana is saying that it is Rajyasarpadivat Maya. That Hetu. He is bringing the Shruti Vakya as a Hetu here. Vikaraha Namadeyam Nama Matrameva. These are only some names and some forms. But when you investigate, there is no reality in any of them. They all resolve into the same isness, being, or awareness, consciousness, which pervades all of them. Ityadi Shrutehe. Atma cha Sabhahyabhyantaraha hi ajaha apurvaha anaparaha anantaraha abhakyaha krisnaha tata akashavat sarvagataha sukshmaha acalaga nirgunaha nishkalaha nishkriyaha tat satyam sa atma tattvamasi iti shrutehe. So what is this? So he has discussed both Adhyatmikam and Bahyam. What is left? Only thing which is left is the Atma, which is the witness to both Bhashyam and Adhyatmikam that we just spoke about. And what is that Atma? The one that is beyond both this Adhyatmika and Bhashya is Sabhahyabhyantaraha. It is both the Bhashya and Antara together. Because when you say this is outside, this is me, both of them have their easiness in the one who is witnessing, objectifying them. Okay, what is the cause? The cause is your Swarupa because that provides the Satta. The Satta is, that is what it, easiness is what is the existence. And the easiness, what is the source of easiness in every cognition? It is your Swarupa. Therefore, Bahya and Abhyantara are both Atma only. Ajaha. We have seen this Ajaha. It is unborn, not born. For something to be born, there should be non-existence of it before a point in time. And after a point in time, it is born. Okay. But the time itself has its existence in Atma. So for you to say nothing existed before some point in time, that non-existence also has to be perceived. So there is no way there is a non-existence to be spoken about because an existence only can speak about even a non-existence. So the easiness has to be always there. Simple. This body may not have been there. This mind may not have been there. No mind could have been there, but easiness should have been there. So because easiness is what lends its existence to everything. Even a perception of non-existence needs an easiness for it to have that perception to happen. Ajaha, therefore it is Ajaha. It is above time. It cannot be born in time because time itself is born and gets resolved. Like in deep sleep, time gets resolved. But Atma doesn't get resolved. Atma is there as a Sakshi. Apurvaha. There is no Karana for it. That is Apurvaha. There is nothing before it. The Jagat has to be born from Sat. Shrutivakya is there. Sadeva Saumya Idamagra Asit. This Jagat is born out of Sat. This body has a Purva. This body, my body was there as a seed, as food before this became a body. So the mountains have a Purva as volcano. Trees have a Purva. Everything has a Purva. But the only thing which doesn't have a Purva is Atmostu, because it is the easiness. The non-easiness, like we said, is not there. So there is no Purva for Atma. Anaparaha. Atma is never going to go away. Go away into what? The easiness. The body may go away. The world can get destroyed. The whole perceptions can get resolved. Like in the case of deep sleep, pralaya can happen. But there is Atma will be always there. Like there's a temple called Sigari. Okay, Sirgari in Tamil Nadu, Tanjore district, right? So there, no, Tanjore or Arcot district, I'm not very sure. But in that there are 3 levels. The temple has 3 levels, like in North India, right? Like if you go to Ujjain, Mahakaleshwar, there are like multi-story. Like that, here also there are 3 stories. So one is Brahmaburishwara, and then there is a Thoniyappar, and then you have Sattanadar. Okay. So the 3 levels. How is the Bhagavan in Sushupti? How is the Bhagavan in Swapanasthana? How is Bhagavan in Jagaridasthana? So there is all the 3 are Bhagavan only, right? So whether it is resolved, that's Anaparaha I was talking about. Ajaha is one Bhagavan. Apurvaha, Anaparaha, right? So the one who is unborn, the one who doesn't have something before that person, and there is not going to be a time the Bhagavan is not there. When everything else, the Thoniyappar, the idea is like when the whole world, the Pralaya has taken place, it is the Bhagavan who is still there in a Thoni. Like that, it is the Ishvara. So Brahmaburishwara is the one who does Srishti. So Srishti Sthiti Antakarine Namaha. So there is no Anantara of Bhagavan himself. Okay, Bhagavan is Antara. So he is the one Antaha. Antakari Samharine Namaha. Okay. So Bhagavan is the one who remains. The Brahma Vastu is the one which is, even when Pralaya has happened, or when the Ajnanam is gone, it's all resolved into the Swarupa. Therefore, there is nothing which is beyond that. Therefore, it's Anantaraha, Abahyaha. Okay. Now, we already said he is Sabahya Abhyantaraha. But he is also Abahyaha. There is nothing which is outside of the realm of Ishvara or Brahmavastu. Whether you take it as you see, when you talk about Bahya, Antara and all, you have to say is Ishvara. Because you are talking within the realm of Bahya, Antara and all that. But Swarupataha, how is it Abahyaha? Because it is the Nirguna Niravayava Brahma. Because of it being Brahman only, it is Abahyaha. Ishwaratvam is Adhyastam. Abahyaha, that which doesn't have something which is outside of it. There is nothing which is outside of the purview or domain of the Brahmavastu. All that is here is Brahman only. So Abahyaha, Krishnaha, it is collectively all of it. At the same time, It is not any one of them. Therefore, it's Krishnaha, Tata Akashavat Sarvagataha. So, if you see the tangible Jagat, the world which is there, its manifest world, it is all pervasive. Krishnaha Sarvagataha. Both are almost same. Collectively, if you see it all, it is one Shivalinga. There is no difference. It's all one whole. Just Sthanu. Bhagavan is called as Sthanu. That which is without any differentiation, just an easiness. How do you conceptualize an easiness? What kind of example you can give? That's why they say Shivalinga Arasthanu, just like a log of wood. The easiness alone is there. That's it. There is no leaf or anything like that. But there is a potential for Srishti in it. That is called Avyakta, Maya. That potential is what is called Aparna. I think I have told in one of those classes. Aparna is another name for Shakti because it is Avyakta Maya. And then once it is manifest Srishti, then the Maya becomes Lata, Kadamba Vanavasini and all that. It's a manifest Jagat. But Ishvara is all the time Sthanu only. Sthanu Malyaha is the name of, I think, Suchindram or some temple. Sthanu. So, is Akashavat Sarvagataha. So, Krishnaha is Sthanu. Akashavat Sarvagataha. That is also like Nataraja. Like he is a Sarva Vyapi. Just like regular Akasha is all pervading. As a Chidakasha, Chitsabhanatha is what is called, right? That same Brahmastu is all pervasive like Akasha. Akashavat Sarvagataha. And it is Sukshmaha. It is subtle. It is not grossly seen. It is hidden. In Tamil, there is one song, right? Viragin Thilan, Palin Padi Neipol, Marayan Dulan. That's what one of the saints say. It is from Vedavakya only. He is Sukshmaha. He is there everywhere. In every cognition, Pratibodha Viditam Matam, Bodham Bodham Prati is there. Every cognition, Ishvara is there. But we can't cognize it. Though it is every cognition is Ishvara, but we are not having the assimilation of that fact. It is so subtle. It is all the time there, but it is not evidently there. In fact, all that is there is only that vastu. Therefore, it is sukshma. It is hidden. Where is it hidden? In your own swarupa, it is hidden. It is you. In your buddhi. It's not hidden. It is there. But it is hidden by your ajnana. Because you are not able to cognize. Because it is not something to be objectified. It's your own swarupa. So, sukshma. That's why it's sukshma. It's not that it is hidden, you cannot see. It's not that it is not available for knowledge. It is only not available for objectification. It is not available for vachyartha. None of the words directly can say what it is, but it is revealable through lakshyartha, through the same words can show you what it is. Why? Because it is you. So there is nothing which can hide you from you except the ignorance, which makes you look at you as an objectified stuff. You are just looking out. Therefore, it is sukshmaha. It is achalaha. Chala achala niketascha. In the last verse also it said, right? Achalaha. Achala means that which is not changing, not moving. It's like one of the things we said is stanu, right? So another thing you can use to represent is a mountain, achalaha. That's why Arunachala, the entire mountain, is seen as Ishvara. Because that is Brahma. Where can it move? Movement means what? You are in one place, you are not in another place. So you move from here to there. So the train moved from Chennai to Mangalore. So you can go from one place to another. If there is the other place you are not there, so you go. Where can Brahman go? There is no place where there is no Brahman. Sarvavyapi, Akashavat, Sarvagata. Space moved. Moved to where? Everywhere there is space. Only where it can't go is your deep sleep. That's where Akasha can't go. So at least you can say Akasha moved into my Atma. Maybe you can say for at least Akasha that is possible. You can't say Akasha is Achala. But Atma, it can't move. It is Achala just because easiness is always there, nowhere to go. There is nothing that is not ease. If you say no, rabbit's horn is not ease, but the knowledge of the absence of rabbit's horns knowledge is, and the knowledge of what is a horn is, the knowledge of what is a rabbit is. So all that is only. So in the easiness, you are trying to show a non-ease, which is rabbit's horn. So everywhere there is the easiness. Therefore, achalaha. At the same time, it is nirgunaha. It is devoid of all guna because there is no guna guni sambandha. Whatever is seen as guna doesn't have its own existence. In fact, it is all easiness only. We have seen this many times. If there is a guna guni sambandha of an object and the redness, roseness is in a rose. So what is the connection between rose and the roseness? So this tarka you would have heard in Jai Shankarji's, I think, some of those texts that he's taking, right? So what is the connection between an attribute and substantive? The samavaya is what Arkikas talk about. But there is it. So suppose this is let's take something. No, this cloth itself will take. What has clothness? Cloth is one which has clothness. What is that which has that clothness? If clothness is the attribute which makes this object a cloth, then what is the substantive on which this clothness is an adjective as a guna? If that substantive, is it a cloth or is it a non-cloth? If it is a cloth, then what makes that cloth a cloth? You have to talk about another clothness. So then it will go into an infinite regression. Anavastha prasanga. So you have to say a non-cloth has clothness as attribute. And what is that non-cloth? Is it again something with an attributed with the attribute, or is it sagunam? Is the clothness guna sitting on a nirguna vastu or saguna vastu? Suppose you say another saguna vastu, then what is the substantive there and what is the guna there? Again, you have to say that substantive, is it a saguna or nirguna? So again, it will get into anavastha only. So you have to eventually agree to the fact that a nirguna vastu can only have a relationship with a guna. And what is that nirguna vastu? And that is the easiness. And this guna also itself doesn't have its own reality. We can derive at that through logic. Anyway, so Shruti also says it's nirguna at many places, right? That is a pramana. But whatever other things we are talking about is only a hetu. So this tarka, this in these two prakarana, the second one and third one, right? The chapters, tarkena was what is used. Through tarka, through logic also you can derive it. The second chapter it is said the Vaitatyam of the Jagat can be arrived at through logic. In the third chapter it is going to be told the Advaita, okay, it can be arrived at through logic, so through tarka. What is that tarka? It is only hetu udaharana rupa tarka. So you can give hetu. Okay. So for this reason, because of this reason, we can make this conclusion. That is hetu. Okay. And there are some examples which are given. Right. In this case, Rajju Sarpa, Swapanamaya, Gandharva Nagaram, all these examples were given. Okay. Hetu Drishtanta Rupa is what is Tikagara will say. Because of that is the Tarka. This is the supporting logic for the what is revealed by Shruti. Okay. Because not purely Tarkena you can't arrive at Brahmavastu. At least the Dvaita, Vaitatyam can be established by Tarka to some extent. But Advaita Siddhi is not possible directly through Tarka. But however, so we will talk about how that is. But here it is as a augmenting with logic. That's all it is. Okay. Nirgunaha, then Nishkalaha. There are no parts. It's not one which has parts. The Atma Vastu is not one which has Chitta Jada Beda, or it has hands and legs and all that. It is Nishkalaha. Nishkriyaha. It can't perform any action. Because for it to perform action, what is needed? Karakas are needed. So there should be a karta, there should be a karma, there should be a karanam, there should be a sampradhanam, apadanam, all this adhikaranam. Everything is Brahma, Brahmarpanam, Brahmavihi, Brahmagno, Brahmanahutam, Brahmaivadena Gantavyam. Therefore, it is Nishkriya. It doesn't perform any action because it is not a subject, object of action. Therefore, Nishkriya Tat Satyam Sa Atma Tattvamasi Iti Shrutehe. So he quotes the Shruti Vakya here. What is this Atma? All that is here, the Srishta Jagat, Sadeva Saumya Idamagrasi Ekameva Dvitiyam Tat Satyam Satna Tattvamasi Shvetaketo, that which is this Jagat that you are seeing as this Jagat is nothing but the Sadvastu, and that Sadvastu alone is Satyam, and that is nothing other than you. Tattvamasi, you are that Sat from which the Jagat has come about, as though come about. It is Shrutehe. So when that is the case, then there is Cheda Nirgunaha only. Iti evam tattvam drishtva. So a yati, a sannyasi, the one who is after this moksha, moksharti, or a jnani, however it is, tattvam drishtva, having seen this tattvam, tatvi bhutaha, tadaramaha. So that person, what does that person do? Bhavet. May that person become, or will that person will be what? Tatvi bhutaha. When he becomes the tattvam. Because what is the tattvam? One's own rupam only, no? It's Atma. That just now we saw, that is your own surupa. So once that is recognized, then whatever is that tattvam is himself or herself, oneself. Tatvi bhutaha and tadaramaha. Then it becomes the thing on which one rests, one relishes, one enjoys, one plays in that same Swarupa, because what is more Ananda than being oneself? The moment you are away from your Swarupa, you are like so uncomfortable. You just try to come back to your Swarupa. That is what is the whole pursuit. The entire misery of life is the migration towards being oneself. That's all. The whole fight, I am trying to get this, buy this, have a car. My favorite team has to win IPL, or my party has to win the election, my community, my world, this, that, something. There is always something which is keeping me away from my happiness, because I associate myself to be with one of those identities. Therefore, it is always like in a sense of longing to be what? To be a complete oneself. That oneself is what is the complete being, the Atmavastu. The moment that is recognized, then the person, that jiva, doesn't want to go out anywhere. So atadaramaha, it is always in its own self, enjoying one's own being. Na bahya ramanaha. So there is no more craving for the external things. What is external going given to give you? An accomplishment of the smaller ego, like my team won, gives you a spurt of happiness. Okay. And then what? Again takes you away to another thing. But that momentary happiness is what? It is your own Surupa only there also. That is what you are getting laya with. That Ananda, if it becomes your own all the time, then you will have Atma Ramaha. You will be Atma Rama, Tada Ramaha. Yata Atatvadarshi Kaschit Tam Atmatvena Pratipannaha Chittachalanam Anuchalitam Manyamanaha Tattvachalitam Dehadibhutam Atmanam Kadachin Manyate Prachyutaha Aham Aham Atmatattvat Idanim Iti. Then Samahite tu Manasi Kadachit Tattvabhutam Prasannam Atmanam Manyate Idanim Asmi Tattvibhutaha Iti. Natata Atmavid Bhavet. Why? Atmanaha Ekarupatvat Swarupa Prachyavana Asambhavacha. So he talks about a one without Nishtha. What happens to the person without Nishtha? Atatvadarshi is what is the term Bhashyakara uses. He hasn't seen. Actually, you can say he is one without Nishtha. That is one way of interpreting. But Bhashyakara says the one who hasn't clearly seen that even when you are in thick of action, you are still Brahmastu. If you haven't seen that, then what happens to that person? Kaschit Atmatvena Pratipannaha Chitta Chalanam Anuchalitam. When your mind is occupied in, suppose, let's get to the IPL example itself. No, it is easy. Season is going on, right? So you are a supporter of, say, Rajasthan Royals. Now you are looking at that match. You are completely engrossed. You want Rajasthan Royals to win because you identify yourself with the team. It's like your Atma is Rajasthan Royals. Okay. So then if you lose that match, then you have lost. If Rajasthan wins, that Royals wins the match, then you have won. So Anuchalitam Atmanam. So the whole thing is on you. It's not Rajasthan Royals. It is centered on you. Because you are Rajasthan Royal. You understand that is where the problem is. Two persons watching the same match. The effect of that match on one person is different from the other person. Because how you relate to Rajasthan Royals is what matters, right? So Kaschit tam atmatvena pratipannaha chitta chalanam anuchalitam atmanam manyamana. So whatever the mind is watching, going after, it is superimposed on you. It's not about that match. It is about how it relates to you. That creates the problem. That time tattvat chalitam dehadibhutam atmanam kadachin manyate prachitaha aham atma tattvat. That time you don't see yourself, even though you just sat in the class Vedanta session in the morning and evening 4 o'clock the match started. Then that whole entire class is all forgotten. Now you are Rajasthan Royals. Okay. So dehadibhutam atmanam kadachin manyate prachitoham atmatattvat. From that atmatattvam, which is beyond all this division of Rajasthan Royals and Super Kings and whatever, that division comes back. Aham atmatattvat prachyutaha. From the atmatattva, I am now away. I am into this chalatma. Pratipannaha chitta chalanam anuchalitamatmanam. Whatever chalanam which is there in the chittam about an activity which is going on in the jagat, I identify my atma with it and I get disturbed or elated. That is for some time. Then samahitetu manasi. Then once I am back, match is over, all my disturbance, fine, I celebrated or I just had, a break after Rajasthan Royals lost. Okay, slowly I am coming back. Now I am back to listening to some audio. Okay, then samahitetu manasi. Samahite means here coming when you are meditating. Okay, so when you are in deep meditation, then kadachit tattva bhutam prasannamatman. At that time I am again happy. I am Brahman now, Brahman. Okay. So you are happy, okay, because you are into meditation. Prasannamatmanam. So this is like all the yogis, people who do yoga, right? Not yogis, not the karma yogi, but I'm saying people who do all this Sudarshana Kriya, all that, right? You take a break, half an hour every day Kriya. Nothing against Sudarshana Kriya, okay? I'm just comparing what is Tattva Darshanam and Jivan Mukta versus somebody who is doing this meditation, yoga, and all that. Okay, nothing to demean any of these things. Just trying to understand how does it work. Okay, so because Bhashikara talks about it, right? So we have to talk. So then this person what tatvi bhutam prasanna idanim asmi tatvi bhutaha. This person samahitetu manasi. When the mind is collected, sitting in meditation in your puja room with agarbatti on. Okay, then this you are sitting and doing om, then you are okay. Kadachiti tatvi bhutam prasannam atmanam manyate. Then I am Brahman now. Last 20 minutes I am Brahman. Idanim asmi tatvi bhutaha. I am back into the Brahman state. Okay, that is what is for an atattvadarshi. He is an aspirant, no doubt. He has already come to the moksha marga. Is not a person who is a laukikavadi. Okay, we are not, teasing this person because the person is not a tattvadarshi, but he is pursuing. Okay, he is on the pursuit of jnanam, but the person hasn't still not fully gained the tattva-darshanam. Therefore, that person has two parts in a day. Okay, one part is where kadachit chalitam pratipannaha chitta chalitam anupchalitam atmanam manyamanaha, who is completely lost in vyavahara. And there is this other part where the person is meditating, doing sandhya vandana, and then doing japa, where your mind is resolved. Okay, that is how that most of us are till we gain the jnana, right? Na tatha atmavit bhavati. Okay, the atmavid doesn't, bhavet means again, it's not a rule. It is, he's saying that is how an atmavid will be. How? Not this way. But how will that person be? Atmanaha eka rupatva. The Atma is not like many rupa. Atma is the same. It is only your mind which is the one which is fluctuating. If the mind is, see, even for the one who is into Rajasthan Royals, for that person also, Atma is Ekarupa only. Okay. So there is no, only for Jnani is Atma Ekarupa, for Ajnani is not Ekarupa. It's not like that. Atma Swarupa is the same Ekarupatvad. Swarupa Pratyavana Asambhavacha. So the Swarupa doesn't change. So it is only whether your mind is fully resolved into that understanding. That is called Nishtha. That is why I said this is talking only about Nishtha. Okay. So for Atattvadarshi, there is no Nishtha possible anyway. Okay. But then Samahite Manasi, it's only like in a state of meditation, the person is recognizing that I am this, I am without any attribute. Suppose somebody is meditating, then at that time that person is recognizing it, right? To an extent. Okay. But a jnani is like in the thick of action. The person knows is Brahman. Because that is Nishtha, right? Like the Janakadivihi. It is said, even Sri Krishna was like that, no? Paulasyam Jayate, that's a shloka itself is there. Dasha Akriti Krite, everything he has taken. All rupas he has taken. Dasha Akriti. But he knows all the time that he is that Ishvara Brahmastu. Like that, the person who is in the thick of action also, the person is aware all the time. That is Nishtha. Atmanaha Ekarupatvat Surupa Pratyavana Asambhavad Sadaiva Brahma Asmi iti Aprachido Bhavet Tattvavite Sada eva Brahma Asmi. All the time I am Brahman. Whether I am in thick of vacant action or I am dreaming, I am in deep sleep or I don't exist, this mind doesn't exist, is still Brahman. So your mind recognizes that. That's all. What if I become mad after some time? Am I still Brahmavite? Suppose due to some accident, some jnani gets, mentally affected. Or because of some food poisoning, the person is affected. Then does that person's Brahma Jnanam go away? You can ask this kind of a question. See, the Jnanam is a Buddhi cognition only. Okay, Atmanaha, everybody is Brahman only. There is no difference. By Jnani is Atma and Ajnani is no. It's only the Buddhi Vritya only there is difference. So the Jivatvam, which is basically the Ajnana, when it is gone, that person is liberated. Now, if the leftover body is Buddhi, okay, this body is what? It's because of Prarabdha, it is just continuing. That's it for a Jnani. Because when the arrow has left the bow, it has to carry on until it loses its momentum or hits a target. That's it. So halfway through, it won't stop. So a Jnani's Deha continues due to Prarabdha Vashat. Therefore, that is, but Badita Anuvritti is there, that person still, even though he is transacting in the world, but transacting along with the Jnanam that Brahma Satyam Jagan Mithya. Now, if that Buddhi gets disturbed, it doesn't matter, right? It is again some Prarabdha. So, Prarabdha Vashat, it is going on. That's it. Sadaiva Brahmasmi iti aprachito bhavet tattvavite. So, this Brahmavite, Tattvavite, Sada eva aham brahmasmi iti, that person continues in any action. Sada aprachita atma tattva darshanaha bhavet iti abhiprayaha. Suni chaiva swapake cha pandita samadarshinaha. Bhagavad Gita says. That is what is the key here. Whether it is Shuni, whether it is a dog, or it is some person who like Swapakaha, who you generally are not comfortable with. The person who eats dog is what it means, Swapakaha. Means somebody who generally you feel very uncomfortable because it's not a normal thing. Somebody eats a dog means what is like, it's very difficult for you to stand there, right? It's a human. But even there, the person, Brahma Darshinaha, Pandita Samadarshanaha. Samam Nirdosham hi Samam Brahma. Samam Sarveshu Bhuteshu. All this Samam means Brahma only. Brahma only is Saman. It is all satta samanyam. The satta, the easiness which is all pervasive, is Brahma. And anything that you experience in the world, you see only Brahmastu. That is what the Smriti Bhagavad Gita talks about. Iti dvitiyam vaidatya prakaranam sampurnam. So the second prakarana ends with the statement that you be in a nishtha. Advaita prakaranam upasanashrito dharmaha jate brahmani vartate praguttatterajam sarvam tenasau kripanasmritaha. ओंकार निर्णये उक्तः प्रपंचोपशमः शिवः अद्वैतः आत्मा इति प्रतिज्ञामात्रेण ज्ञाते द्वैतं न विद्यते इति च. How did this whole Mandukya start? It first spoke about the four states: Vishwa Taijasa Prajna Turiya Avastha, or Jagrat Swapna Sushupti Turiya Avastha. It spoke about it, and it was spoken in the context of Vyashti Samashti. And then what is this Turiya? How is Turiya different from the deep sleep? Prajna. Okay. Then the Omkara was spoken about. Akara, Ukara, Makara, and how Akara, Ukara, Makara is linked to Vishwa Taijasa Prajna. And Amatraha, Anantamatrascha iti, it was also spoken about. This fourth Matra, this Omkara, is Anantamatra, is the one which sustains all the three. That is Brahman, was spoken about. And then in the second chapter, through Tarka, the Dvaita was dismissed. Okay, that is what has been spoken so far. So now the Bhashyakara is introducing the third chapter. So you have done these two. What is the context of the third chapter? What is going to be spoken in the Tritiya Prakarana? That is the introduction now. So Omkara Nirnaye Uktaha. So what is Omkara? There is a huge, some 7 or 8 verses, right, about Omkara Sarvam, Omkara is everything, all that is here is Omkara, and Omkara Dhyana only gives you all that. Huge number of shlokas were mentioned about Omkara itself. The greatness of Omkara was spoken about. And what is that Omkara Nirnaya only is this whole Mandukya Upanishad itself, right? Therefore, he says Omkarna Nirnaye Uktaha. Okay, and what was concluded? Prapanchopashamaha. That Omkara is Prapanchopashama, because there is no recognition of Prapancha in Brahman. When you are in the cognition of Brahman, there is no Prapancha there. In your understanding of Brahman, there is no Prapancha. It is Astittvameva, Chinmatrameva, Nirgunam. When you say it is Nirgunam, Nirbhayam, Nirakaram and all that, that means there is no Prapancha. There is no, like in your recognition of clay, there is no part. Similarly, in your recognition, in your cognition of Brahmavastu, there is no Prapancha, Prapanchopashamaha. So in your recognition of Omkara, there is no Akara, Ukara, Makara. It is only Amatra. The Amatra is what is manifest as Matra, Ananta Matra. That was seen in the first chapter. Prapanchopashamaha, Shivaha. Shivaha is Abhayam. Shivam is Abhayam. We saw that only few verses back. We spoke about Shivaha. Prapanchopashamaha Shivodvaitaha. Atma iti pratignya matrena. How it was done as a pratignya. That was that what do you call that, as a statement, right? That you are going to further establish. That is a pratignya. You first state your conclusion and then you explain. It's not, I wouldn't call it as a hypothesis, because hypothesis means you are presumption, it's a presumption to start with, right? And then you are arriving in it. But here it is a conclusion, right? You are stating a conclusion. Jnate dvaitam na vidyate is told first. And then you explore why, how, all that, right? Brahmavida apnoti param. This is how it starts. Taittiriya Upanishad Anandavalli. Okay. Brahmavid apnoti param. The one who gains Brahman gains the greatest. That is the pratigna. Then it is further expounded. Similarly here, Jnate Dvaitam na vidyate. In 18th verse of the first prakarana, it was said, once you know what is Brahman, the entire duality is gone. Jnate Brahmani, Jnate Advaite, Jnate Shive, Dvaitam na vidyate. Okay. Tatra Dvaita abhavaha tu Vaitatya prakaranena Swapna Maya Gandharva Nagaradi Drishtantaihi Drishyatwadi Antavatwadi Hetubihi Tarkena cha Pradipaditaha. So he is now saying what is the Tarka which was used in the second chapter. Second chapter, Dvaita Bhavaha Vaitatya Prakaranena. In the second chapter of Vaitatya Prakarana, Dvaita Bhava, the duality, the sense of dualness, Dvaita Bhavaha, has been established as a Vaivitata. Okay, is not of its, it is different from what it is seen as. By what? Swapna Maya Gandharva Nagaradi Drishtantaihi, through the examples of Swapna Maya Gandharva Nagara. If you remember, the second chapter spoke about that. Okay, Gandharva Nagaram Yata and Swapna Maya word was used, right? By these Drishtanta, it is like those. Gandharva Nagara is the world seen in the cloud, which goes away when the wind disturbs them, right? So it is like that. This Drishtanta was used. Not only it was Drishtanta was used. Drishtanta is not enough. Just giving one example doesn't prove anything, right? But Drishtanta helps what? Assimilate it. But what is the hetu given? Drishyatva, Drishyatvadi, Antavatvadi hetubhihi. Many hetus were given to just show for what reason are you saying it is like Swapnamaya Gandharva Nagara like that? Because it is Drishyam, Swapnavati, and it is Antavati. Just like Swapna gets over, Vekan also gets over. Ityadi hetubhihi tarkena pratipaditaha. Through supporting logic, it was established. Advaitam kim agama matrena pratipattavyam ahosvit tarkenapi ityataha aha. Shakyate tarkenapi jnatum. Tat katamiti advaita prakaranam arabhyate. So, okay, I can understand that dualities Vaitatyam, Dvaita Bhava Vaitatyam can be established through Tarka. That's fine. But can the Surupa, Advaita Surupa, Kim Agama Matrena Eva Pratipattavyam, can it be only known through Shruti? You guys keep saying Shrutiya only, you need Pramana, this Pramana like Pratyaksha Anumana won't work. Here you need like a mirror. Only Shruti Vakya is. Does that mean that Shruti Vakya says something that I have to go and believe that? And this is how the Dvaita, Visishta Dvaitis and all say, take the Pramana, right? Oh, Veda said, that's all, it's Pramana. You have to believe that, that's all. It is like, it's a Veda Vakya. Okay, it's a Bible, they say, right, in this Western country. Like, it is said, so you need to follow. Is that how it is? Like, it's a matter of belief. Kim Agama Matrena Eva Pratipattavyam Advaitam. Ahosvite LR Tarkenapi. Can it be also looked at through logic? Shakyate Tarkenapi Jnatum Tat Katham. No. Even though Shastra is the Pramana, but Atma is available for contention. Therefore, it is logically also contestable. Okay, I'm carefully using this word. Okay, because Tarka doesn't reveal Atma to you. Okay, but how can you do Tarka on Atma when it is not available? Only through Agama it is available. No, but Atma, when I ask whether you exist, okay, do you even take a second to think, oh, do I really exist or not? No, we all say I exist, right? So that means what? This I is available for contention. Everybody makes conclusion, this is what I am. Everyone, right? Human being. Every thinking human has a conclusion that this is what I am. So the I is available for contention, right? So it is there. So you can't say it is beyond any contention. So Tarka, why do we have to do Tarka then? Because everybody comes with, there are so many theologies, philosophies who come with their own conclusions on this is what is Atma. Now all of them are not Vaidikas. So you can't say Veda says Atma is Sarva Vyapi, therefore you have to accept. That person is not going to even listen to you. He says, why should I listen? Some Veda says. So you can't use that for the people who are not a Vaidika Darshanakaras. Even Vaidika Darshana people also, they also stand by some logic only to say that, okay, Bhagavan can't be Atma. Why? Because they are making conclusion. It is available for you to make conclusions about. The Atma is available for contention. Because it is available for contention, you can make a contest. Therefore, tarkenapi, even though na jnatum shakyate, but tarka, there is a scope for tarka. Logical discussion about what can possibly be Atma. So all you are doing is you are dismissing everybody else's contention that this is what is Atma, this is what is Atma through logic. Okay. Once you have dismissed all that, then what is the final recourse? Shrutyaiva Sharanaha. So the Shruti only is the Sharana. So this logic is only to contest, okay, not to reveal Brahman, because there is a Pramana Apeksha, then only it can be a valid knowledge. So let's see. I know I took 2 minutes more, but yeah. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavasishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om.
धन्यवादः गुरुजी.